video we're going to look at the concept of creating a conceptual mass. A conceptual mass is going to allow you to basically bring that mass into a Revit model and assign walls, floors, roofs, and so on to it to create an actual structure or building. So the first thing we're going to look at, we're going to notice here on our project browser we have level 1 and we have some 3Ds as well as our elevations. So we're going to start in level 1. Alright, when we're in level 1 we're going to simply use our line tools and we're going to draw a shape. Alright. Once you have the shape, you need to make sure, it's very important, that the shape is an enclosed loop or enclosed structure and that there are not any openings, especially in your corners or anything like that. Alright, so once we have our shape here, we'll go back into our 3D view and you'll notice on our 3D view we have our footprint, if you will, that we created. By selecting the footprint, you'll notice that all the lines highlight. We'll simply select solid form and it's going to give us a structure. You'll notice on our top of the structure we have these drag arrows. We can drag them up and down to create or increase or decrease the height. We can also select our temporary dimension and we can put it in at a different height. Okay, so this will allow you to create your basic form. If you want to create a form on top of this, say we wanted to add a section over here, we could again use our line tool. In this case, we're going to hit the drop down where it says placement. We're going to select pick. Now, we're going to select by first clicking on the top of our structure, and then we're going to go into our drawing feature. Now, you'll notice as I spin this around, because I put my surface, or I put my plane, if you will, the top of the structure, it doesn't matter which way I move my cursor, it's moving it in reference, in relationship to that top plane of the mass. Alright, so again, once we have our complete border, we can select it, and we can again say solid form. Alright, we can now adjust the height of this, again by simply doing the same thing. We can either drag it or we can use the arrow, the dimension. Alright, if you have an object that is going to be drawn or attached to this on the side here, we can do the same thing. We can come down here and we'll draw a shape that maybe goes around this corner. Alright, but then maybe it goes inside of it here. Again, you want to make sure that you clean up your corners. Alright, so we go back to our 3D and we'll see here now, because we did not adjust our plane, we want to go fix that. We want to say it's level 1. You'll notice it drops down. I can select it now and I can say create form and it will create that. Now if I look at this from underneath, you'll notice that both of my building areas are overlapping. If you want them to be one, okay, and you're content with the height here, you can use your join geometry. You can select this one, and now you'll notice if we turn this upside down, you'll notice that these two structures are joined at the intersection. Okay. If you want to put some indentations or recesses on the structure here, we can go ahead and use our line tool again. We can select our placement plane. We'll select this surface. And again, it doesn't matter what direction I draw. It's going to be drawing it based upon that particular surface and that face. So again, I can select these. Alright. And if I want to, I can do a selection box. And I can copy. Alright, and we'll copy based upon there and based upon there. So now we've created these three. So I can select this and I can tell, in this case I want to create a solid void. So now you'll notice that it recesses it back. Now if I want it to be a certain depth, maybe I only want it to be 3 feet, I can adjust it. So I can create the rest of these voids. And then I can come back in and I can modify their depths. So if this one's maybe it's stepping back, okay, and this one we can change. All right. So once we have this, so we've begun to create our massing. This is how you create the mass.